Come on in, y'all. Come on in. I know this is an impromptu and an unscheduled live, but I don't know. It was on my heart to go live, and I think it will be revealed throughout the course, right? So, y'all, come on in. Um, Again, this is an impromptu live, and I got some stuff that I can talk about, but I want to give everybody a few moments to come on in. I need a little break from the monotony of my day. Anyhow. So I don't know if anybody else is live right now or not, but welcome. I hope everybody has had a great day. Has had a blessed day. Um, some of you may have realized that I was trying to do some premieres, and I think I have it figured out. So I have one scheduled, but it's been trial and tribulation. But that's how we learn. And I'm kind of winging this thing, so learning as I go. So I just appreciate everybody's patience. I appreciate everyone's support, everyone's support in many ways. If you just like the video, if you drop in, if you support, through donations, whatever the case is, it is all the same for me. And my heart reacts the same on all levels. So blessings. Hi, Trina. What's going on? What we doing? Love you too. And Miss Sassy 81, thank you for coming on through. Thank you for coming on through. Um, I don't really have like a set topic. Like I said, I can talk about. There's a lot I can talk about. Um, it was just laid on my heart to actually go live. It depends on the flow of things, if I stay live long or not, but that's up to y'all. So just come on in, give it a moment, and hopefully I will have some things ironed out that I've been having some technical difficulties dealing with in my past recent lives. It's been, oh Lord, I'm on the stage with my mistakes, honey. I'm not accustomed to that. So, but it's strengthening my character and it's promoting and motivating me to get it right and to spend the time and do the work, right? Peace and blessings, Miss Kim. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate your presence. I know it's probably around dinner time. People have been working today. Um, People are winding down. So it is quite okay. Um, I actually was prompted by my discernment to just kind of pull up and go live and see if there's anybody that wanted to come on the panel and strike up a conversation, right? Um, and just have some things to talk about. So that's why I'm here. Um, I know it's a slow start, but I'm just trying to give people a chance to kind of come on in the room. Oh, you did feed the family early today. I'm glad. There you go. I'm sure they're glad too, because I know when I feed my child late, he be looking sideways. So I try to stay on schedule as much as possible. Hey, Bolo, what's going on with you? Thank you for coming on in. I'm hoping you got some rest. I am really hoping that you have been able to just kind of chill throughout some time of the day today because I know you've been live, but I'm pretty much used to it. It's just where you are and who you are, and you've got a lot of ideas. You said maybe. I know what that means. Ah, so, well, I'll take that. I'll take that. You withstand it a lot better than most, I have to tell you. So everybody can hear me okay. I'm clear. I don't there's no echoes, no other stuff going on. I think I have my I hope I have my shared screen issue with the audio cleared up. So we gonna find out because there is like one video I thought was pretty important to share that people may not be aware of. Oh, there's so much going on, everybody. I have been on the grind today on my research tip. Between my research tip and I've been like going at it all day. Between that and trying to iron out the kinks on my computer, and StreamYard has been tripping. And it's probably partially me, but it's not all me because StreamYard has definitely been on some shit today. And I thought, I got to go take a walk because if not, I'm going to be destroying some very expensive equipment in my room and I don't want to go there. Right. So thank you for coming on in. Peace and blessings to C Child 35. We got Philly K 2K24 in the room. Salute, salute. Thank y'all for coming in. We got this girl. Yes, peace and blessings. I like that name. Peace. This girl. I don't recognize you, but welcome. If this is your first time, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate your presence and engagement in the chat coming out of the bushes, right? So all right. Well, you know what? On my thumbnail, it says pull up. I don't have a topic. I was saying when I first went live, it was on my heart. I feel like there's, if not one person, there's a couple of people that would like to speak on something. I'm not sure if you want to do it on the platform, but I'm going to start off actually by dropping the link, which is not usually what I do, but I'm following the spirit today. And if nobody hits the link, then I will move on with this video that I would definitely like to share, but I will reveal the topic when I present the video because it's pretty so the title is pretty self-explanatory. So if anybody wants to hit the link, um, if it's on your heart and you are feeling some type of way, take the leap anyway, because it's pulling on my spirit that somebody in this chat needs to open up conversation, right? So I did drop the link. We got okay, so we got Miss Trina. What we doing in the house? We just going and add you to the stage. Welcome, Miss Trina. How are you?
Hey, Miss Kim, you sound so cute.
I
I ain't coming
do.
on there. I got the heels on, but I got one Air Max on though.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. I say you ready for anything, huh?
Anything. I just want to
Okay.
salute you, Miss Kim, because you real when you 100, and you just so your voice so just so pretty and soft. Like I can't even get gangster on your junk because you just so pretty and soft.
Well, you know what? I don't want you to get. I mean, I
I'm not Miss
want
Kim.
you
I'm
to be
not. I'm
you.
not.
No, okay. So I want to back up for a second. I want you to be you, and I want you to be comfortable at no matter what the situation is. I accept people who they are and I correct
Hmm.
with love if I feel the need. But I'm all about letting people express themselves as long as it's
But
not.
McKimmy, you be giving knowledge though.
Well, I appreciate that, but you know what? What point is it for me to keep it to myself? Somebody
Right.
gave it to me. That's how I acquired whatever information, knowledge, and wisdom I have. Somebody poured into me. So, it's my pleasure to be able to give back. And
Right.
that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna do you like that. Cause McKimmy, you don't go against the grain. Bolo,
Hey Trina, what we doing?
What we doing?
Hey, Mr. Kimi, what's up?
What's going on, Bolo? I
Hey,
always keep your avatar. I love that avatar picture. That's like your signature photo right there. That is just
hey,
all of that.
but check this out. I'm not happy though.
Why? Talk to me. Talk to me.
I'm depressed. I'm not happy.
Oh
Why you
Lord. And
depressed,
you
Bolo?
follow that up with a laugh.
You
I
know I'm
don't know how
trolling.
to receive that.
Hey man, I'm trolling like him because they so stupid, bro. I swear to God, these
I love
delusional insane
y'all.
people.
Where you
I
going,
love you
Trina?
too. Where you going?
I ain't going nowhere this time because I'm
Oh,
posting up on Mr. Kimmy job. Bolo,
okay.
I
What's up,
love
baby?
you.
I love you too, sweetheart. How's auntie and mama and uncle?
I'm so sick of them always telling me so. Before I walk in the door, they're like, you talk to Bolo? I'm like, who? You talk to your friend? I said, who y'all talking about? Dude? They talking about you, Bolo. Love you, bro.
They know him by his first name. Look, Bolo is
I
a
swear they don't
staple
even
in
talk. They
these
don't even say
YouTube
hey to me
streets.
no more, Kim. I be like,
He say they go straight to Bolo, huh?
Bolo.
Oh
I said,
man.
what?
Hello, Miss Alexandra. Hey, pretty lady. Thank
Hi,
you
Miss
for coming
Alexandria.
in.
Salute.
Yes, yes. Salute to
Hey,
everybody
Alexandra.
in. Even the people in the bushes. Thank you for coming. Thank you for plopping in. Okay,
Bolo.
so
Yes,
Soon as I
darling.
walk in the house, Bolo, they be like, you talk to your friend. I be like, who, ma? My dude. Bolo.
Mm.
I said, what? Auntie said, Barbara Clock. I said,
I
Lord, they don't
lie.
even say hey to me
You
no more.
lie. You lie. She said, what? Auntie got that Jamaican down pat, man.
Yeah, my auntie, she been in Jamaican though. They cry about you,
Oh.
Bolo.
Oh, okay, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, they cry about you.
Oh man, that's a blessing, man. Shout out to
Yeah, that's
Auntie
a blessing.
and
All of
Mama.
it be a blessing to be a blessing. And I
Yeah.
just want to come and speak on my girl Kimmy channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if y'all play with her, it's up too. Bolo, you know it's up, right?
Yep.
Bolo, you know it's up, right?
I
I'm finna
already
bring the
know.
whole
she like
strap
Bolo.
mess.
I ain't even talking to Kim. I'm talking to Bolo. I think we all pretty much kind of understand what comes with that territory, but we gonna
Yep.
Yeah.
anticipate and claim that none of that will be necessary,
Big Kim.
or at
Big
least
Kim.
yet, Trina. Okay?
Big Kim. They
Yeah.
came at double mama, bro. And we on their ass. Sam Milton finna be on
Oh
their ass.
man,
No
that's
disrespect to none of
crazy.
y'all. Don't play
So
with
it's going
Bolo.
down. What am I like in the dark about? First of all, hold on, pause that thought for just a second. Hey, sis, Miss Collins, thank you for coming in. CC, hey y'all. Every time I see that, I think of Kwame. Kwame, hey, there y'all go with that shit talking about some hey y'all again in the chat. I'm having to 86K people and y'all all y'all doing is talking about some damn hey y'all, but hey y'all. Thank you for coming in. Okay, go ahead, Bolo.
Oh, now Trina was talking.
Oh, Trina, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kimmy, this ain't got nothing to do with you, pretty girl. But
I'm
like I
listening.
said, do not come at Bolo. Don't come at Double. Don't come at Kwame Brown. Don't come at TJ. And don't come at Biz. And I got them. Hey, this ain't got nothing to do with nobody. I put them heels on, but I will put them Air Max on too, though. Love you, Kimmy.
Love you back, Trina. And you know
I
what? We I know, but we gonna deal with these people on the level that we deal with them, right? We don't
right.
necessarily have to go down every now and then. I see it's justified because some people don't understand languages outside of gutter. So I
But they
get that.
talked about my homeboy mama though, and that man didn't never say nothing about nobody kids
Ooh.
or nothing. I'm talking about Double. So I'm on it. I got the whole squad. Hey, Bolo, them
So
new
we bringing in
subscribers,
parents
Bolo.
again. Oh Lord.
Them
Hmm.
new subscribers, Bolo. Them my people. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
Akimi. The new
Yes.
subscribe to my people. They subscribing to y'all. Hey, Sam Memphis in the building. Yeah, Memphis in
Memphis
the
is in
building.
the
And I
house,
stamped
nice
it.
and strong. What you say, 10 toes? 10
I
toes
mean, I
down?
stamped it, Akim.
You accept it? Yes.
I
And you
stamped it.
welcome.
Love y'all.
All right.
Love
Love
you
you
too,
back,
baby.
Trina.
Don't play with
So
my Trina now.
listen, Trina with all the smoke. I don't know that y'all better stop. Y'all better leave her alone
Hmm.
and quit playing because she keep telling everybody, listen, I don't play about these people, okay? I don't play about my family. I don't play about my Memphis folk. I don't play about good people. So and like she say, she with it.
Hmm.
I don't know what's going on because I can't keep up. Between me trying to, I know
Man.
you understand, but
No,
you,
seriously, I'm with you. I think I'm gonna just not tune into to certain situations, you know what I'm saying, and focus more on what I think is really important, what's going on, to be honest with you. Because I think that we're at a point now with all the stuff that, the conversations that you're having. I think we need to focus our content on what are we gonna do if the worst happens, survival skills, you know what I'm saying, planting, storing water, um, a fast track on like how y'all really gonna survive if shit was to really pop off and the worst happens. What's the worst happening? Uh, any
and
type
there's
of
no convenient time. There's no,
exactly.
and you know what? These people aren't. Look at how depend. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I
You're
just
good.
wanted to
You're good.
piggyback. Look at how the pandemic popped off. I remember that November.
Hmm.
That was when because I was living on the West Coast at that time, and it hit the news back at the end of November with the first case in China, and by January we were on lockdown.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so this time around, any time that after that point, it's going to be progressive. And I don't know if people really understand the sense of urgency that we are in, because of course, just like a predator, they strike when you're vulnerable, when you least expect it, when you're not
Hmm.
looking for it. And
Hmm.
so you think they don't use those tactics? All you got to do is look at history, right? And look
Right.
how,
Exactly.
and it keeps repeating itself, and we keep being asleep, and I'm not understanding that.
Man, listen. Look at what Cece said. She said, "Right, we just had a flood here. What a miss, you know."
CC,
So
if you don't mind, like, what region are you in?
yeah.
You in the south? You in the east? The northeast? You don't have to necessarily specify the state if you're not comfortable, but there's a lot going on because we just had that weather, didn't we? With it was 20 here, it was 20 degrees about 4 nights ago, and
Mhm.
then 2 days ago it was 70 during the day.
Right.
And so, and then it's been raining, and it's just this weather is just one of the things that has my antennas up, because I've never seen such drastic changes in temperature on such a short, time span.
Wow. Storm flooding. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow, man.
Well, hopefully you're safe. Hopefully that your property and your dwelling has not been adversely affected. Oh my goodness, Nola. Man, listen, I take my hat off to people that live in that area.
What, New
'Cause
Orleans?
after Katrina, ain't no way.
New Orleans?
Yes.
Why is that? Why is that area always getting hit with these types of situations? It's happened a lot over the last 25 years.
Yeah, definitely. And from what information I have,
Mhm.
um, that rabbit hole can kind of go deep too.
That part. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. There
Hmm.
was a situation where it was kind of sketchy with the government and everything,
Yeah.
and I think there's a story of some type of fire or something that went on in the city, and it was just very sketchy. There was a lot of theories about the government being involved, people losing the people was being locked into the area, and they was trying to come out. I don't know if you
To
remember that story.
Hawaii. That was a story
Yes.
with Hawaii.
Why have I not seen more content creators cover that story?
Well, because of the names that are attached to the story.
Mm,
This is all part of the censorship, in my opinion. I was looking when I was clipping my live to put in different premieres today. I was listening to the content and see one of my issues. Well, I wouldn't say it was an issue, but one of my traits is, I'm very direct. I'm sweet, I'm kind, I'm respectful, but when it comes to things that affect us on a widespread scale,
mm-hmm.
um, and things that I'm very passionate about, I get very
Mm-hmm.
vocal.
Right.
Um, it's just we need people like that, because if everybody is walking around with blinders on, we're all going to perish.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Miss Kim R. That whole story was heavily censored. I
Yes.
mean, that is insane to me. I mean, it raises my eyebrows. I'm not informed enough about the situation, but for the little that I saw, that the pushbacks, what people was saying that was on the ground, that story should be national, global news because that's insane. But it's all about the go along, get along, gang. So hey, we gonna
Yeah.
cover up stuff.
Well, and when you like listen, that's why I was so excited in a sense to speak with like Kim R yesterday, actually being in Texas. And getting her feedback and her personal testimony, because to me that beats any type of media or news source and outlet as far as getting the real story. And when on social media there actually is a lot of footage. I don't know if it's been scrubbed or if it's just not making the algorithm anymore, but when it first came out, there were a lot of residents in the areas that were burned in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and that the personal testimonies that they were giving the people on a worldwide scale. They were screaming to the rooftops and the mountaintops, right? Trying
Right.
to get the information out that we are not being told everything that actually happened in the way that it did happen.
Mm-hmm.
And those people have not been recompensed. They have not been made whole. They have not been looked after. And it's just way too many facts and instances surrounding their situation that just does not add up to natural disaster. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say, as far as that goes. But let me just for one moment here just greet EJ. Thank you for coming in. CC, I read your, I'm glad that you're good. I know there are many that have lost everything, and it seems like no matter what kind of, I was going to say natural catastrophe, but I don't even feel comfortable saying natural anymore.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to these extreme weather conditions and they're coming in and through and wreaking all this havoc, people are just not. And I look at Florida and how Florida, I think they've got one or two insurance companies now in Florida from like seven that actually offer flood insurance, right?
Mm.
And the flood insurance is, the premiums are so high, and because of the liability and the fact that now they don't have any competition, but one or two companies, major companies, that are offering those premiums for flood insurance. But think about all the people that can't sell their properties because they can't get coverage that they can afford in flood insurance. It's just people are being affected everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome, EJ. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Always appreciate your presence. Melanie. No, you're fine. Actually, you spelled my name right, Melanie. That's how you spell it. No worries. CC said, no, Hawaii did not get a warning. And that in itself is alarming, right?
Very, very alarming.
Yes.
Extremely alarming. Like, man, oh, listen, man.
I know, Bolo. I hear it in your voice. Oh,
Trust me, we need to really wake the hell up and start mobilizing in our own ways. This is where this is DEFCON 1. All right, citizens of the world, this is DEFCON 1. We are. There's something. I really think there's something big coming. I don't know what it is, but you know that the hair in the back of your neck, just be like, how cats are like sensitive to like things happening before it happens. That's how I'm feeling right now. I feel edgy. I feel really edgy, and I'm not trying to cause a panic or anything. I'm just like, yo, let's be as prepared as we can be and move swiftly. Don't think you have time. You understand what I'm saying? Try to move away from what are distractions. And you decide what you think is distractions. Because at the end of the day, man, your well-being for yourself and your family is the most important thing. So think about it. Anything that takes you away from making sure that you are securing that well-being is a distraction. Period.
absolutely.
Period.
And
That's
if it doesn't affect directly your family's well-being, like Bolo was saying, anything that involves survival, um, mandatory, living resources that we depend on, such as, water, food, shelter.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, those are the most important. I was looking today. I don't know if anybody watches Redacted. I try to. There are some really good gems that are dropped in that podcast at times, but I have to be very selective because to me, I don't know if they're fear mongering or if they really have a lot of inside information that would probably be overwhelming for the masses. But they have a link to a website where they have they have medical kits with
Right.
6 different assortment of medicines that they said would cover everything in a natural disaster. So I'm sure it's probably antibiotics. When I looked at it, I saw the price of it. I said I'll come back to it because it's
Mhm.
super expensive. But I'm sure that at some point it would be worth it to make that investment. But I need to do more research on the source and the company to see if it's actually connected to the podcast and if they stamp it and support it. Because, like I said, we're talking hundreds of dollars for a small kit. And I don't know if it has enough medicine in it for more than one person.
Right.
But just things, of that nature, actually, we have to consider first aid kits,
Mhm.
bottles, like the big 5-gallon bottles of water. If you're in any kind of rural areas, please find some well water sources. There are some churches in the country that actually have wells on their property, and they're pretty generous and lenient as long as you respect the grounds of the church when you go to
Mhm.
get the water. um you know things like that. Get you a bug out bag, and that includes survival kits like a filtering straw. So if the water's not drinkable, it's a filter straw. You would be able to drink most types of water, and it would, by the time it hits your palate, it's clean enough for you to drink it. They have them on Amazon. The first aid kit, all of your important documents in
Right.
waterproof bags.
My mom's be
Um,
telling me about that, man. For real.
yes,
Make sure those
absolutely.
are ready. Make sure you got a bag. If you gotta just get up and go, everything that you need, essentials is in there. Grab that shit. Get out of there. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's the time we on right now. We don't know what the hell's gonna happen around here. Plus, shout out to Biz, man. Biz, the piece of land Biz was stunting on the other day. He got water well on there.
Mm,
So y'all don't understand like the value of that type of property is ridiculous.
I'm trying to. A water well by itself is priceless
Mm-hmm.
by
Mm-hmm.
itself, because the more you look for water in the grocery stores, we're talking about purified water. That ain't nothing but toilet water, in my opinion. And they're charging almost $8 in some places for like 24 to 40 bottles of that stuff. That's not even 4 gallons.
That's a good suggestion, Miss Collins. Stack up on the white vinegar. It's a
Yes,
natural disinfectant and cleaner. Facts. Shout
yes,
out to the
yes,
beautiful Kim
Charlie.
R in the building.
Yes, welcome to the panel, Miss Kim. Thank you for coming back.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed yesterday, and I actually played the replay for my husband because he's like, "What are you talking about in there?" So, I
Hi.
played, I played for him, and he's like, good job." So, I appreciate you all, and this is my type of topic here, the prepping, because I'm with you, Bolo. Something is gonna happen. Something is coming, and we need to be prepared. It, the, you're not going to have access to the grocery stores or to the
Mm-mm.
CVS, or you need to be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I try to tell um, my relatives, and to stop focusing on what your favorite celebrity is doing. Who cares what the Kardashians are doing?
Bingo.
When when the ish hits the fan, they are not going to be able to help you.
And they're not going to be able to help themselves. All that money, all that jewelry, all those grills they got, all those designer belts, and all of that ain't going to mean a hill of beans, like you say, when stuff hits the fan.
And like I said, like for all the women out there that is running their lip for the last 15, 20 years, oh, I don't need no man and all of that. Just think about a situation where shit actually pops off and it's anarchy. Uh that's not gonna be good for any woman. That's alone. I could tell
Nope.
you that right now. All right, because you're gonna be dealing with people that are military trained and guerrilla type people. And allegedly, I think I snapped. So that's a whole different ball game. All right, it's not gonna be pretty for the kids. Like we're talking about protecting yourselves, being able to survive, and outside of survival, after that, you got to make sure you have skills from now that you can rebuild.
Yes.
You got to prepare for that eventuality. That's a possibility as well that y'all would need to rebuild, if not for your entire community, but for yourself. Trading and coding, people. Hey, find some sort of skill set that you can use to build. Go
I
train, get that
encourage,
training.
yes, I encourage the young men and the boys, like my son. He's been kind of bucking me because he likes technology, but I'm telling him he has to learn a trade with his hands. You have to know how to build something. You have to know how to repair. You have to be versatile and comfortable enough to try to, and patient enough to try to figure things out without technology. And that is super important. I remember we used to have shopping. They took it out of, I remember I was in the 8th grade when they took shop out of the schools in Florida. That's where I went to grade school and high school, And I remember making a jewelry box I still have out of wood in shop class. And to this day, it's probably one of my most, that in home economics, where we cooked and homemade stuff, homemakers learn how to sew. Those things were taken out of the schools so they could maximize and make and monetize it in trade schools and in colleges, when those are essential tasks that we need, females and the males. But I'm telling you, these we have to be able to survive without looking at a screen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Remember when they used to teach girls in schools to do sewing and stuff like that as well? You know how to make your own clothing and stuff like that.
Yes,
Listen, man,
absolutely.
I'm telling y'all, man, yo.
Yeah, I mean, because growing up, my mom used to sew. She made all my clothes, during the summer, and she made my prom dress, and she still has the sewing machine. She does little things, to help out her neighbors and stuff. She'll make the nice napkins, cloth napkins with their initials and all that stuff. And she just didn't give her something to do. But I was actually seriously thinking I'm gonna go buy a sewing machine and get to learning
Mm-hmm.
myself, because those, and what I have started doing is going back to the things that my grandmother, my great grandmother, those remedies, and I'm trying to get away from pharmaceuticals and go back to what they did in the old school, 'cause they survived the Great Depression. And
Mm-hmm.
and there weren't all these pills and all of this stuff, and they made, and I'm learning different things, holistic remedies. I'm learning how to make
Mm-hmm.
natural cough syrup and things like that. I'm trying to stay away from big pharma as much as possible.
Shout out to all the native Indians out there. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
If y'all ain't got no native Indian friends in America, make sure y'all go hit them up. If you're in Jamaica, hit up the bush doctor, man. I'm telling you, the farmer and the
Amen.
bush doctor. Yeah,
Trying
y'all
to
definitely
tell
need
you.
to keep those friends very close.
I was gonna say, if that's not something you know how to do within your immediate family, you better get
Mm-hmm.
a tribe, and you better, that's an asset to have in your tribe. Everybody should be able to be gifted at something different,
Mm-hmm. That part.
so you
That part.
can form that community where you can lean on each other, because one person can't do all of nothing.
No.
Everybody has their own gifts, talents, and niches and training. And so, man, I'm telling you, Bolo hit it on the head when you got all these women walking around here thinking that they don't need no man. And um, I'm telling, it's gonna be a sad sight to see, because
I
that's
mean,
not
come on.
something you can unlearn and accept, or change your mindset on overnight. So when
I
the
mean,
shit hit the fan, they still gonna be crying, I don't need no man. I yeah, okay, all
but
right,
but
well,
but
good luck.
Mr. Kimi, the men are gonna be in trouble, much less the women.
Very
I
true.
mean, come on, man.
Very
Like I
true.
said, you're
Hey,
possibly going to
well.
be dealing with, yeah, shout out to Mel. You're possibly
Mhm.
going to be dealing with gorilla trained individuals. Like, it's no joke. Who are these people that are coming in America from all over the world? Don't know their backgrounds? You got to think of the worst case scenario, bro. So I mean, and in Jamaica, I'm not saying it's different. Hey, our borders ain't ish. So I'm
Okay.
thinking, I'm thinking anything that's happening over there is doubling over here. I mean, a lot of people come to Jamaica through. It's just, it's not safe. The borders is not safe. The waters is not safe. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
No,
man, it's crazy what's going on.
it is not safe. And I'm telling you, I've been on this computer looking up. Oh, I had to cut it off, because when I said yesterday that rabbit hole goes deep, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
it can be overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you have to know when to. And I always think about what you say too, Bolo. If it's not anything you can control, then we have to release that to a power higher than ourselves. So
Yes.
it's like being aware is okay, and that's one thing, but
Mm-hmm.
we're only capable of doing so much individually, which is why it is so important that we establish communities and we do
Mm-hmm.
it, and we, like Bolo said, mobilize,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure, Kimar, with your military background, you and your husbands, you have, some techniques and some information that is probably very useful to you in that type of a situation. If anything jumps off and y'all are ready, you have
Oh
to
yes, I mean we
be
both
part.
we're both combat veterans, and my husband has been deployed several times all across the world. And I did my time, multiple deployments, in the Middle East, and so I learned to live without, and all these little luxuries. I was on a deployment for 6 months, and there was no toilet, and the
Mhm.
little things, when I came back to the United States, I sat in the bathroom and just kept flushing the toilet, because it was just like, thank you, I'm back. And
Wow.
these little things. And can you imagine a female going to that long?
Mm.
And but we were in an area where that's how they live. That's their, way of life. So it's those little things that we are really spoiled here, and people just don't realize what
Mm-hmm.
we have, how blessed we truly are. But yes, when you were speaking yesterday about the Second Amendment rights, we are well prepared. My husband is, I hear KB talking about how his neighbors stock up on the ammo. My husband is one of those, and so we
Okay,
we are ready. And
that's good.
our little motto is, if you think you're gonna come over here and try to break in our house, say
You
your
gonna be in
prayers and
for a
tell the Lord
rude
you're
awakening.
coming to see him, because it's gonna be a bad day, because you have two military veterans, two sharpshooters in this house. So you're gonna
That's
feel a
right.
world of hurt.
Talk your
Listen,
pitch, Kimar.
that's,
Let's go, Kimar.
that's right. Talk your pitch. Yes, indeed.
Hey,
But
I enjoy hearing Mr. Kimi laugh so much, man.
I'm trying to listen. I laugh to keep from crying sometimes. I ain't gonna even hold you. I enjoy laughing. No. Surrounding myself with people that actually evoke laughter is important too, because I've been around energy vampires, and I do
Mm.
my best to stay as far away from those people as possible.
And that's one of the things I was alluding to earlier, without actually saying it. And I talk about distractions, those types of energy vampires. And
Mhm.
there's some people on YouTube that they just suck the air out the room, man. It's just ugh, you know what I mean? So yeah, I know what I need to do for myself, because I just can't listen to these people anymore. I don't want to hear them speak at all.
No, I've
I
been
swear to
so
God.
absorbed in other things today that I refuse. I just refuse, because it's like a broken record.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're regurgitating the same old vomit
Mm-hmm.
over and over. And who wants to eat somebody else's vomit? I'm good.
I'm
I'd
good. Thank you.
I'd take some fresh food or some fruit, veggies. Give me some clean water. I'm not picky, but I don't want I'm just at a point where I'm over it. I don't
Yep.
mind stopping in, but now I remember I used to be able to sit in through a whole live and
Mm-hmm.
listen to the rhetoric, and now it's like, no, because I've heard this story before. I've heard the same old song and dance, and at the end of the day, in my subconscious, it always poses the question: is this going to benefit me and my family?
That part. See, this is where I'm at with it, man, because I believe that some of the people that are getting caught up in it, they have so much more to offer in terms of helping our people with what is to come. But then I don't know if they not thinking about it, or I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm over it, man. I'm over it.
Yes. Well, you know what? Don't let it. I mean, I know it's easier said than done sometimes because people act like a pack of like they vultures or wild animals, so they come in packs, right? So they
Mhm.
pounce on you at the same time. You're dealing with it from one direction and then they hit you from another direction, and before you can get your footing, now you're turning around and it's like pow again. And so I know it gets to be redundant and it gets to be old, but it'll pass. And you just, sometimes when I say, I'm going to go in my own little bubble, I don't apologize for that because I
Mhm.
know what's in that bubble. I know what it offers me as far as rejuvenation. It revitalizes my peace. It gives me balance. It centralizes me and reminds me of what is really important and helps me to properly prioritize those things. Do I sway from that from time to time? Absolutely. Absolutely. I fall short every day, but I always strive to be self accountable. And that helps keep me grounded. As long as you can self reflect and acknowledge your own errors in your ways, then you won't stray too far. And that's been my personal experience. So let me just, I want to greet people that I haven't greeted coming on in. Thank you, Old Boy 2020, Miss Jenny Velez in the house. Thank you. You're all, I love seeing your name in your avatar. You are so supportive. Thank you so much. Mel W. Are you busy? Because so anybody, I'm not no pressure, but anybody that would like to hit the link, it is pinned at the top of the chat. Feel free. This is just basically an open panel for open conversation. I don't have any guidelines or any strategy for this live. It was just on my heart to click on live and see what happens. So, um, Mel W, Jenny, CC, um, Ms. Collins. I think I've kind of covered everybody that's in the chat and those that are in the bushes. Thank you so much. If you could just be so kind as to make sure you tap that like button, I'll be so very grateful for just that in itself. Um, I will put my little ticker down here, just for the time being. No pressure on that end either, but every now and then people do want to financially be a blessing, and that's fine too. And if not, no worries there as well. So yeah, it is what it is when it comes to um, us being mentally prepared, because we've got some things that we're going to have to endure that most of us have never had to face before, and that's going to be very taxing. And if we're sitting back
I'm
relying
sorry.
on,
I'm sorry. I'm
you're
sorry. Go
good.
ahead.
Did I say something? Was it me,
No,
Bola?
it's Mel. He said Jenny Velez was accused of being a fake Puerto Rican by porch pirate.
You know what? I need for Mel to act right. I need you to get you some act right. You ain't in
Nah,
school.
I cannot. I can't keep up with these people.
Let me tell you something. These chats have been off the
Oh my
chain.
god,
Last
man.
night, okay, let me just pivot for a second. Are we keeping you, Kimar? Do you got to cook?
Oh no, I fed
You do?
everyone
Okay,
early, so
everybody's
they're
good.
good.
All right, all
They
right.
have
I
the
didn't want
itis
to.
now, so I'm
I
good.
gotta go though. You see me, so I'm
Okay.
glad Miss Kim are gonna be up here with you. But
Okay, but let me just squeeze this in before you go. Because
hmm
I don't know, every now and then, I used to be goofy a lot, but last night, something tickled my funny bone. I don't know if it was QR's voice, if it was her rhetoric, if it was, I think it was D's expressions, because I kept looking at him and he just was so animated with his expressions. And once I started laughing, I could not stop. And then I started to read the chat. Before I knew it, I had tears streaming down my face. I could barely type. I was like, everybody is on the crazy train today. Being on the crazy train. The chat is off the
Oh
chain.
my God.
And whoever is on that panel that he's recording or QR, that's self-explanatory. We ain't even got to go down that way, right? But I laughed so hard that I slept so good last night for the time that I slept anyway.
Man.
But I just wanted to express that because these chats have been, I'm telling you, you sit there and you read the chat, that's a whole live in itself. You don't even have to listen to the host or
I
the
swear to
hostess.
God, the chat is undefeated.
They got their own little world going on. I'm saying, but okay.
Man.
Well, we don't want to keep you, Bolo. I'm so glad that you hit the link.
You want to keep me, but I gotta go.
I do, of course I do. But I gotta be etiquetely correct every now and then. I gotta be considerate that
and I
you
would
do
love
have
to
things
stay
to
too,
do.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But
Yeah,
it is
no
what it
worries.
is. In real life though. But salute to you ladies. I appreciate both of y'all so much. Keep doing what y'all do. Miss Kim R, I don't know if this is just a suggestion in terms of your you and your husband experience. I think you guys could add a lot of value in terms of starting up your YouTube channel and giving us some tips or something that
My
for those
husband
who are
is technologically challenged.
mm,
He gets frustrated trying to work the Amazon stick. So I do not see him on YouTube. So
I feel his pain. I just have to
mm.
say it is my perseverance that gets me through. But
So
go
so
ahead, Bolo.
so is this a situation like could y'all do like pre-recorded videos, not necessarily lives? Like some survival skill stuff, anything that is in your expertise that you think, could help a regular person anywhere.
I'll definitely have the discussion with him and see
All
what he
right.
thinks.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to broach that suggestion to you. All right, but thank you guys again, man. Miss Akimi, you're having fire content. I mean, you're blazing in these YouTube streets. And trust me, the number is not saying it, but man, the content is definitely blazing. So keep it up. All right, got
Well,
much love
thank you.
for you guys both. All right, and shout out to the chat, Miss Collins. Shout out to EJ. I see you, my brother. I'm out of here. Peace.
All right, Bolo. Peace. Bless up. All right, Miss Kim. I am there is if you don't mind, is there, first of all, let's just say this. Let me ask you this. Is there anything that you hit the panel that you wanted to say that you may not have had the opportunity to say up to this point?
Not really. I do want to commend Bolo for realizing that he needs to focus more on finding his peace and withdrawing from a lot of the madness that is going on with some of these content creators. And I'm proud of him for acknowledging that and doing the work to make that happen, because I know, and I've learned the hard way, stress can really make you physically ill. And I had to let go of people and things in order to have my peace. Peace of mind is priceless, and I'm not giving up my peace of mind for anyone or anything.
It's too hard to come by. It's just too hard to come by. I went without peace for so long, and it was such a turbulent ride. And man, once I focused in on it, I had to let go of. So I had to retrain and revamp my entire life, my surroundings, the company that I was keeping, some of the mannerisms that I had, the way I interacted with certain people, how quick-tempered I was. Because when you don't have peace, you're like a firecracker. just waiting to pop. And my temperament was super short, and I didn't like a lot of who I was at times in my life. And I had to really do some soul searching. I went and I became single for a long time to work on me, because the me that I had in relationships, it wasn't consistently working enough for me. So I said, well, everybody else can't be the problem. I have to accept responsibility for my contribution to chaos. And so once I really did the work, took the time, made the sacrifice, and found out what worked for me, honey, I got a good dose of that piece. And I was like, that was priceless for me. And I'll never forget it. So that's why I'm always striving. If I deviate from that place, then I always have that mark to go back to. Double Speak is in the house. Hey, Pastor. Hey, Pastor, what's going on with you? And Miss Juicy Fruit done popped up with the, ooh, listen, got the tatas. I know that's right. You do your thing, Miss Juicy Fruit. Thank you for coming in, everybody. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. It is an open panel. We're not talking about anything specific. No judgment. It was on my heart to actually just go live and not really have a set topic. And so I want this to be a safe space for people to be themselves and to express themselves, because sometimes, it's easier to express ourselves in the midst of people we don't know than it is for people that we do. It may not be the case for everybody, but sometimes that works. So I just wanted to provide the opportunity for anybody that it may be on their heart to do so. And I yield the floor. Go ahead, Miss Kim.
Oh, I don't have anything else. So
Okay, all right. So if you want to stay up here, you can. There is
actually, I am
go
gonna
drop
go
down.
drop
Okay,
down.
no problem. Well, I appreciate you coming up. Thank you for adding value as always, and reminding us that there's always something that we can do to progress and to prepare, because we're definitely not out of the woods for the unexpected to happen, and we need to prepare as much as we possibly can for the worst case scenario and pray for the best case scenario. So thank you for coming up again, and just, it makes me smile. So thank you, and I hope you have a great night, and bless you and your family.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Kimmy. I'll be in the chat.
Okay, no problem. All right. So there is this video that I would like to share that actually is related to the topic that we're speaking on, and it's touching on the migrant situation, the migrant crisis. And it's not a long video. We may not even go through the whole thing, but if it's good enough and it yields enough interest from y'all, then we may. I'm just going to do fair use. We're going to narrate and use it for entertainment and educational purposes. And I'm sure that most of us in here are associated with Dr. Umar, whether he's very controversial. But one thing is for certain, and two things are for sure, that his delivery may be raw and uncut in a lot of instances, and it don't go down tasting so good, but he usually spits the truth, right? So we're going to just kind of break this down, and give me a moment. And if you would, like I said, I've been working on my audio today. Oh Lord, don't tell me. I don't want to hear this. There we go. Okay. And if put a 1 in the chat once I start the video, if you can hear him okay, or the video, or put a 2 if there is no sound or if it's low, please.
It's holy. So whatever we've done it on holy ground. We ask you to take care of this leader. Lord, bless him. Strengthen him.
So there's no sound. 2, Alexandra, for no sound. Okay. Oh, it's 1. Okay, so you do hear it. Okay, thank you. Ooh, I'm glad, because I was gonna say I don't even know what to do from there. But okay, hold on one moment. Let me go back just a little bit.
It comes from the foolish. Give ear to those who are wise to experience. Yes. Give him strength, give him wisdom. Let him trust you to bring him this far. Believe him now. Yes. Let us worship what we believe. Let what we believe be true. Keep the President of the United States holy. Yes. Guide him, protect him, and lead him. And when he wakes up on the 6th of November, and declares victory, let's declare that God did it, because God wanted it. Yes. In Jesus' name, and the name of all those who come before us, let us pray. Amen. Amen.
This is called Christmas. And one decade of president. And I'm married to my father, so I tell you what, I'm wearing the sucker out.
If you don't vote, Donald Trump will win. Okay, and how was Joe Biden better than Donald Trump for black people? If you don't vote, Donald Trump will win. How is Joe Biden better for black America than Donald Trump? If you vote for Donald Trump, we gonna suffer. How has Joe Biden been better than Donald Trump for black America?
Let's talk about that intro, right, at the church. I really wish somebody would hit the link to make this a dialogue, because to make this a monologue would be doing it a disservice, but I will do my best. So you got a black church. I'm just going to be who I am and say it as I see it, right? You got a black church with black pastors and preachers in the pulpit praying for Joe Biden. None of them prayed for their people. None of them prayed for themselves. They all had their hands on this man. And I'm wondering how they feel right about now, right? I'm wondering if there's been any conversations or any acknowledgement that that's not working out for us. Now, the church is a whole nother conversation, right? And the detriment that the whole system of the church, the black church, and how detrimental it has been for black people. But that will be held for another conversation. But I just wanted to, I thought, and I really didn't do that video justice, but without getting my emotions involved, that's all I'm willing to say on that. But he definitely articulates the way that he does very well in regards, because he's going to lead up to the migrant situation.
The next time a Democrat comes in your face, shaming you into voting for some token Negro to carry out white supremacy's agenda, please ask them, how was Joe Biden better than Donald Trump? Please tell me. Please tell me. How was Joe Biden better than Donald Trump? We have no way to grieve our real problems. The political structure is absolutely insensitive to black people's reality. Am I wrong? The political structure in the city government, the state, where my black state legislatures at across the country? Where my black state legislatures at across the country? Where my black state legislatures at across the country? What are you doing to address the problems black people have in your state? I'm talking to black city council men and women across the country. I'm talking to black state legislatures across the country. What are you doing to address the problems that black America has? You're not.
Okay, so first, let me address T. Smith. I need for you to get a new battery. Yesterday, you said the same thing. You said you had 2%. Get you a new battery, boo. Okay? Your battery is low and this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Okay. So if I don't know if you have another device, but if not, then you can always catch the replay. So I'm just giving you a hard time. And CC said Joe Biden is too old to be president in her opinion. It ain't just your opinion. I got my own opinion about that, and that's part of my opinion. But I got a whole nother plethora of opinions when it comes to that that being. So we just gonna leave that right there. But I totally agree with you for the sake of conversation, Miss CC. So Miss Kimar was saying yesterday on the panel that if you haven't had an opportunity to go and watch the live, I'm actually doing a premiere on the entire panel, and I think it starts at 10 or so, but you can always replay it. It will not be a live, but it'll be a replay, and I just isolated out of yesterday's live because I did have some technical difficulties, just the panel. But on that panel, she was vocalizing how important it is for us to vote on a local level and to know about the contenders and the politicians that are running for office on a local level, which is county, city, and state, right? And so that is what he's bringing to the forefront. He's coming right out the box with that, and because that's how important it is. You know, it's all. I'm not saying that the president of the United States and that position is not pertinent and important to what we have going on. But again, the United States of America is a conglomerate of individual states that have their own specific laws and rules and regulations that they go by. So wherever you're living on a local level is not going to is going to affect you more than the federal level on most instances, right? So hi, Miss Tasha. She said, salute, catching the replay with Jules. Yes, thank you so much. Please feel free. And hopefully you gain edification and that you'll learn something that you may not have known prior to watching it. So thank you for the support. And I just want to say, repeat, Mel, the challenge, unfortunately, is Joe Biden and Donald Trump are too old. We have 2 old members of Congress. Let me tell you, everybody, I think we need a whole reset. And I'm just keeping it 100. That one old grasshopper that's up in there, I think he got to be at least 102 years old. That governor from Kentucky, that is the head of is it the Senate? I forgot his name. That's how insignificant he is to me. But that man single-handedly has really just shown himself over and over and over again. But I think we need to do a whole reset when it comes to all of these political offices from the bottom to the top. And that's just my opinion, right? And Mel says school board especially. Okay. Even like the homeowners associations, I think there should be a term cap and an age cap collectively in a lot of these positions, because they tie up in these positions and then they die in these positions. And half of them, you wonder if they're human because they seem to be living longer than everybody else. So they can still have the power and the jurisdiction to be able to kind of do what they want to do. And I think this is crazy, but okay, I digress. So local level, that's what we're working with.
Not doing nothing because you are a Democrat. If the Democratic Party don't want you acting like a black radical, I'm gonna say it again. This is why I don't vote for Democrats. You can't show up and show out for your people because you are a member of the team and you want to be a good team member. If you act too black, the Democratic Party will lose allies and they will lose votes. If the black Democrats act too black, the Democratic Party will lose allies and lose votes. Black Democrats are irrelevant to black people. You are absolutely irrelevant. You are irrelevant. Where is the Congressional Black Caucus? Where is the Congressional Black Caucus? Where is the Congressional Black Caucus?
Crickets. Crickets. Bingo, Mel. That part. It's about the prestige and not about the effectiveness. That's why our government fails. It's about the power. It's about the power. The money goes with the power, but it's the power first. It's a drug. They become addicts. And that's why a lot of them don't have a moral compass, and they sell their souls for it, because now that is their top the top priority and the top thing that runs and dominates their existence, in my opinion, right? So fair use, YouTube, fair use. He's saying where the Black Caucus is. They only show up when there's some money to be made, in my opinion. But again, I digress.
I'm getting some t-shirts made. Vote for what? Because the black bourgeoisie is not an option. Vote for who? Because the black bourgeoisie is not an option. Let's continue. Number 7. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for number 7? Disrespectful white attitudes. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have, did y'all hear what I just said, Africans? Did y'all hear what I just said, American Africans? And your diaspora African brothers and sisters, they listening in. They listening in. Disrespectful white attitudes is the 7th worst problem for Black America in 1968. Has it changed, brothers and sisters? To my beautiful African queens, has it changed? To my brothers, has it changed? Do we still suffer from disrespectful white attitudes? Can somebody let me know? When you go to the school about your child, are you still dealing with disrespectful white attitudes? When you go to the hospital, are you still dealing with disrespectful white attitudes? When you go to city government, are you still dealing with disrespectful white attitudes? When you go to the bank for a bank loan, are you still dealing with disrespectful white attitudes? When you interact with the police, are you still dealing with disrespectful white attitudes, brothers and sisters? At your job, at your place of employment, your manager, your supervisor, your boss, the business owner, are you still dealing with disrespectful white attitudes? 55 years later, disrespectful white attitudes.
Yeah, not much has changed. I mean, times have changed. We've evolved as far as our surroundings, technology, social media, but it's just morphed. But the foundation and the fabric of this country is the same, because those same people are in power 55 years later. Jeez. That just goes to my point. It's like, do these people ever pass away? Do they ever go anywhere into another dimension? Why are they still here all these years later? The Joe Biden looks like he is like we waiting any day now for the news. But I bet you he probably outlasts half of us. That's just my take on it. But I digress.
Don't get mad at me. I'm quoting a presidential study. Don't get mad at me. I'm quoting a presidential study. But I would add, it's even worse now. It's even worse now. You know why it's worse? Because we don't only have to deal with disrespectful white attitudes. We got to deal with disrespectful yellow attitudes. We got to deal with disrespectful brown attitudes. We got to deal with disrespectful red attitudes. We got to deal with the disrespectful immigrants who are being put in positions of power. We have to deal with disrespectful immigrants who are being put in positions of power. We got to deal with disrespectful immigrants who are being put in positions of power to now carry out the oppression for the white power structure. And y'all still talking about multiculturalism. And y'all still talking about multiculturalism. And y'all still talking about people of color unity, black and brown unity, black and yellow unity. When have you ever seen black and brown unity? When have you ever seen black and yellow unity? Somebody said black and Jewish unity. Black and Jewish unity. Really? When have you ever seen black and Jewish unity? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
So to touch on that for a second, there is a, like if you look at the sanctuary cities, a lot of them are primarily considered Black metropolitan areas, right? You got Detroit, even though I don't think that's a sanctuary city, they're still filtering over there. You got Chicago, you got New York, you got, I know they're in Florida, you got, is it Houston or Denver? One of those places in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm leaving out some, right? But the point being is that a lot of these points of entry for these migrants are heavily populated by people of color. And that is a form of gentrification. So instead of what we're accustomed to, the wealthier people coming in, claiming the land, raising the property taxes, tearing down and building newer neighborhoods to ease out people of color. Now we're going to have people pulling on resources that occupy our tax monies. And so what's going to be left for Black people? Because bet your bottom dollar, they're getting ready to pass some bills, if they haven't already, that's going to ensure that these migrants and the illegals get access to those resources before Black people do. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, you're absolutely right, my brother. You're absolutely right, my brother. You are absolutely right. The replacements for Black America are at the border right now. The replacements for Black America are at the border right now. Oh, yes. The replacements for Black America are at the border right now. What did Joe Biden say on the news yesterday? What did your president, your Democratic president, say on the news yesterday when he was questioned about the border crisis? What did President Biden say on the news yesterday when he was questioned about the border crisis? President Joe Biden said, it is a problem, but we will just have to deal with it for now. It is a problem, but we will have to deal with it for now. Let me ask you a question. Why didn't Joe Biden seem alarmed about the border crisis? Why is President Joe Biden so comfortable about the border crisis? I'm going to tell you why. You know why the president is so comfortable with the border crisis? Because there is no border crisis. There is no border crisis. The governor of Florida and the governor of Texas sent a busload of Mexicans and Ecuadorians to Chicago and dropped them off. There is no border crisis. The only crisis is making sure these anti-African Latinos end up in the Black community and not the white community. The only border crisis is making sure these anti-African immigrants show up in the Black community and not the white community. The only border crisis in America is making sure these anti-African Latino immigrants show up in the Black community instead of the white community.
Wow. So that just echoed. I haven't even seen this video all the way through, and this just echoed what I said. So that confirmed it. We got T. Smith on the panel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for hitting the link. You're on mute. T. Smith, you're on mute. Okay, now you're unmuted. Well, it shows you're connected, but I don't hear you. Are you speaking? Not really sure what's going on. I'm gonna drop you down and come right back up, okay? Just come back up.
They just have to make sure they go to the Black communities. Why? Some of you are asking why. Dr. Umar, can you help us understand why they want all the immigrants to come to the Black community? Let me tell you why. There's no border crisis. The only crisis is making sure they come to the Black community and not the white one. Number one, gentrification. They're going to gentrify Black America with anti-African immigrants. They're going to gentrify Black America with anti-African immigrants. They're going to gentrify Black America with anti-African immigrants. Number two, to make sure they dominate all the social services so Black people can't get shit. Let me say it again. Let me make it plain for you politically uneducated American Negroes. They want the anti-African immigrants at the border to end up in Philly, Baltimore, D.C., oh yes, New York City, Oakland, California, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, so they can do what? Take all the housing programs. Take all the food programs. Take all the homeless shelters. Yup. All the medical care. Yup.
They done closed schools down in New York. And I'm sure that's not the only place. They have closed schools down and sent the kids home to house these illegal immigrants. You know, I could like ad lib, but I don't need to because he's repeating shit 3 times. So ain't no sense of you hearing another 1 or 2 from me. We're going to get through this video. We're over halfway through, but I do want to, I'm going to put the link in the description. I don't have it in there yet, but I think that is definitely worth probably, you know, going back through in a regular, say it automatically goes to, it won't let you in. Okay. It's all right. T. Smith. I really don't know, you know, what to recommend because I can't really do anything on my end. It won't even let me unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. I tried to unmute you and it wouldn't allow me to do it. So it's all right, but I appreciate the effort. Maybe it will just be meant for next time. You can always try again, this stream or another stream, but no pressure. It's all good. I know Damn D is going to be going live if he already isn't live, so I won't stay too much longer anyhow. I didn't want to come on and belabor, you know, the live too long, but I did want to, you know, at least kind of throw this in since we were talking about relatable subjects and I've been really doing research on this migrant situation. So we're almost done. Give me another few minutes.
You have the worst Black unemployment and homelessness rate in 55 years. You have the worst Black unemployment and homelessness rate in 55 years. You have the worst Black unemployment and homelessness rate in 55 years. So if Black people are suffering, if Black people are suffering, why would you bring immigrants to a community already overburdened with its own problems? Why would you bring people who don't like Black people? Why would you bring immigrants who don't like Black people into a Black community that is already overrun with its own problems? I'm gonna tell you, so they can take up all the social services. They're going to monopolize the social services, just like they did with the Ukrainians, just like they did with the Ukrainians, just like they did with the Ukrainians. You can't get an SSI check, but the Ukrainians can get an SSI check. You can't get no housing, but the Ukrainian can get housing. You can't get no medical, but Ukrainians can get medical. And now you have the Latino immigrants who can't stand Black people coming into the Black community to take over the housing, take over the homelessness, take over the welfare, take over the social services. And so now, when you go looking for some housing, some food, some clothing, some medical care, we're sorry. We're being overrun by immigrants. We're being overrun by immigrants. This is all a plan. And what is the Congressional Black Caucus doing about it? What is Al Sharpton saying about it? What is Al Sharpton saying about this? What is the NAACP saying about it? What is the Urban League saying about it? Nothing at all. There's no border crisis. They just have to make sure they end up in your community and not the white community. And they're going to give them all the resources so they take over the predominantly Black cities.
And they get the migrant vote. Right? Yes, Sassy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. We're going to wrap up here in a couple minutes. I appreciate everybody. But you know what? That's a good place to stop because the fact of the matter is that he said it all in a nutshell. Do I think that that is the only reason? No, I do not. But I think it is one of the primary reasons. And therefore, we ought to be trying to navigate and circumvent the way that we're accustomed to doing things and move differently and get back to the old, get back to the basics, get back to doing things and putting our families first and putting a value back into the family unit, because that's the only way we're going to ever come out of this collectively. I just, you know, I could repeat myself 100 times over. Who gets it will get it. And so with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I thank everybody for coming in. I thank you for everybody that hit the panel, Ms. Kimar, Bolo, of course, T. Smith. I appreciate the attempt. I'm wondering if maybe because I shared the screen, it wouldn't allow you to come off of mute. I'm not 100% sure. That was the first time I've seen that, but definitely you will have more opportunities. So again, thank you for at least giving it an attempt. So Miss Sassy says, I agree. It is time for us to unite as a people and help each other. That's the only way we're going to actually get anywhere. And that's just that. That's it. That's the answer, whether people want to hear it or not. But it's just sometimes it gets to be a little discouraging to see all of the division and just in our little world in this sector on YouTube, how people are so divided. But then I want to look at the positive side of that too and say that it's dividing the wheat from the tare instead of everybody being lumped into one, and the infighting like Texas border and the Biden administration right now. At least we know who's who and what is what. And so that's a starting point, and you have to clean house before you can progress as a people. So definitely thank you, Miss Alexandra. Thank you, Miss Collins. I appreciate y'all. Thank everybody for coming through. Mel W, I know that you've had definitely some great comments and topics for conversation. Definitely we will continue this at another time, and maybe you will be in a position where you can, maybe join the panel. And but I didn't ignore you. It's just that you come with such big gems and big ideas and perspectives that to me it kind of requires interaction for me to process all of that. So Philly 2K24, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. No, T. Smith, listen, when it comes down to the Black Caucus, like I said earlier, I think we just need to do a major reset. We need to get all of these older, outdated, single-minded people that have antiquated ideas of resolving problems in a world where we're living in a totally different dimension than when they started to occupy these offices. And we need to clean house and start completely over. And until that happens, this is what we're going to get and things like it, right? So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and check on out of here. I want to say bless up, peace and blessings to everybody. I hope everybody have a wonderful night. Whatever you do in order to acquire your peace, do just as much to maintain your peace. I love y'all, and we'll talk soon. Okay? So I'm out.